I want you to stop for a moment and really focus. Look around you. Everything you see, the walls, the sky, the people, the noise, even the thoughts racing through your mind feels so real, doesn't it? But here's the first truth you must understand: what you perceive is only a fraction of what truly exists. And even more importantly, who you are is infinitely beyond what you've been told or what you believe about yourself. You're not just a body, not just a mind. You are something eternal, something vast, something chosen. But what does that mean? What does it mean to be a chosen one? And what is the truth about your eternal existence? Let's unravel this together. Most of us live life like we're trapped in a box made of labels, roles, expectations, and fears. You're taught to believe you're a name, a job title, a set of circumstances. You're taught to measure your worth by how much you achieve, how much you own, or how much others approve of you. But have you ever wondered, who am I beyond all of this? Who were you before someone gave you a name? Who will you be when this body is gone? These questions aren't just philosophical, they hold the key to understanding your eternal existence. And if you're still listening to this, it's because deep down, you've always felt it. You're not like everyone else. You've always sensed there's more to life than what meets the eye.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
Here's the thing about being chosen: it doesn't mean you're better than others, or that life will be easier for you. In fact, it's often the opposite. Chosen ones are those who have been called to wake up, to remember the truth of who they are, even in a world that constantly tries to make them forget. And let's be clear, answering that call isn't for the faint of heart. It means confronting everything you've ever known, stepping into the unknown, and sometimes walking a path that others don't understand. But it also means freedom. It means stepping into the infinite power, peace, and purpose that has always been your birthright. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you didn't belong? Like no matter how hard you tried, you couldn't quite fit into the mold that society or even your family created for you? That's not a flaw, it's a sign. A sign that your soul is too expansive, too eternal, to be confined by the rules of this limited, material world. But here's where it gets tricky. In a world that values conformity, being different can feel like a curse. The very things that make you chosen, the depth of your emotions, the intensity of your intuition, the way you see and feel things that others don't, can feel like burdens. But what if those burdens were actually gifts? What if the very things that make you feel out of place are the things that prove you're here for something greater? You see, the truth about your eternal existence is that you're not just here to survive. You're here to expand, to awaken, to remember. And that's the first step: remembering. Remembering who you are beyond the labels, beyond the stories, beyond the illusions. But how do you do that? How do you peel back the layers and reconnect with your eternal self? It starts with a single word: awareness. Most people move through life on autopilot. Wake up, work, scroll through their phones, sleep, repeat. They barely stop to question why they're here or what it all means. But you, if you're still here, listening to this, you're different. You're already questioning, you're already seeking, and that's where awareness begins. It's the willingness to stop and observe, to notice the thoughts running through your mind, to feel the emotions moving through your body, to ask yourself, who is the one observing all of this? Who is the one behind the thoughts, the emotions, the experiences? Because here's the truth: you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness behind them. And that awareness, That's your eternal self. That's the part of you that has always existed and will always exist, beyond time, beyond space, beyond this life. But let's take this deeper. If you are eternal, then why are you here? Why this life, this body, this time? The answer lies in one of the greatest truths of existence. You chose this. Before you were born, your soul made a decision to come here, to experience this life, to learn, to grow, to awaken. And yes, that includes the challenges, the pain, the heartbreak. Because even those moments serve a purpose. They're not here to punish you, they're here to shape you, to help you remember the strength, the wisdom, the love that is already within you. Think about it. How would you know light without darkness? How would you know peace without chaos? Your soul chose this journey not because it's easy, but because it's transformative. But there's another layer to this. You're not just here for yourself. As a chosen one, your awakening is part of something much bigger. Imagine ripples on a pond. When you remember who you are, when you step into your eternal truth, those ripples spread. Your vibration, your energy, your light begins to uplift those around you, even if they're not conscious of it. This is why your journey matters not just for you, but for the collective. You're here to help raise the frequency of this world, to remind others of their own eternal nature. And you don't have to do this through grand gestures or dramatic acts. Sometimes, just being yourself, your true, authentic, eternal self is enough. So let me ask you again, who are you? Not your name, not your job, not your story. Who are you really? Sit with that question. Feel it in your heart, in your soul. Because the answer isn't something I can give you, it's something you already know. It's something you've always known, deep down, even if you've forgotten. And the moment you remember, everything changes. The way you see yourself, the way you see others, the way you see life, it all shifts. You realize that nothing is truly good or bad, it's all just experience. It's all just part of the journey. And at the center of it all is you, eternal, infinite, and chosen. Now that we've begun peeling back the layers of who you are, let's dive even deeper into the mystery of your eternal existence. Have you ever wondered why your life feels so unique, yet so interconnected with everything around you? The moments that feel random, the strange coincidences, the patterns that seem to repeat, these are not accidents. They are part of a sacred blueprint, a map your soul designed before you even arrived here. And understanding this blueprint is one of the most profound steps in realizing the truth about your eternal nature. Here's the first piece of wisdom. Everything in your life, every experience, every relationship, every challenge has been perfectly placed for your growth and awakening. It may not feel that way. In fact, some experiences may feel unfair, painful, or meaningless while you're living through them. But the truth is, from the perspective of your eternal self, these moments are opportunities. Think of them as pieces of a puzzle that, when put together, reveal the bigger picture of why you're here. The question is, are you looking closely enough to see the patterns? Let me ask you something powerful. How often do you pause and reflect on the events of your life? Not just the obvious moments of joy or struggle, but the subtler ones, the people who came and went, the times you felt nudged in a certain direction, the dreams that wouldn't leave you alone. What if these weren't just random occurrences? What if they were messages, guideposts, pointing you towards something greater? This is what it means to see the blueprint of your life. It's not about controlling every detail. It's about recognizing the deeper meaning behind what's unfolding. But here's where it gets really exciting as a chosen one. Your blueprint is not just about your life. It's about how your existence fits into the grand tapestry of the universe. Remember, you are eternal. You've existed before this life, and you'll continue to exist after it. Your soul carries wisdom, lessons, and gifts from countless lifetimes. And in this lifetime, you've been given the opportunity to use those gifts not just for yourself, but for the world. Every time you overcome a challenge, every time you heal a wound, every time you step into your truth, you're not just transforming your own life, you're contributing to the evolution of consciousness itself. Think about that for a moment. Your struggles, your triumphs, they're not small. They're part of something infinite. When you choose love over fear, when you choose truth over illusion, you're creating ripples that extend far beyond what you can see. This is why the concept of being chosen is so powerful. It's not about being better than anyone else. It's about recognizing the responsibility and the privilege of carrying this awareness. You are here to awaken, yes, but you are also here to help others awaken. And that doesn't mean preaching or convincing anyone of anything. It means living your truth so fully that others are inspired to find their own. But let's not romanticize this. Let's be real. Walking the path of a chosen one isn't easy. In fact, it can be incredibly lonely at times. You might feel misunderstood, isolated, or even judged for seeing the world differently. You might question whether you're strong enough to keep going. But here's the truth: the very challenges that make this path difficult are the same ones that make it meaningful. Think of a diamond, it's formed under immense pressure. Think of a seed, it has to push through darkness to reach the light. You are no different. Every challenge you face is shaping you into the person you were always meant to be. So, how do you navigate this blueprint? How do you stay aligned with your eternal purpose when life feels overwhelming? The answer lies in trust. Trust that every experience, no matter how difficult, is here to teach you something. Trust that the universe is not working against you, it's working for you. Even when things fall apart, even when you feel lost, trust that there's a higher plan at play. Sometimes, the most beautiful transformations happen when everything you thought you needed is stripped away and you're left with nothing but your true self. Here's a practice to help you connect with your blueprint at the end of each day. Take a moment to reflect. Write down 3 things that happened that day, big or small, and ask yourself, what is the lesson here? What is life trying to teach me? Over time, you'll start to see patterns. You'll start to notice how the pieces fit together. And you'll realize that even the moments that seemed meaningless or painful were leading you to something greater. And here's another secret: you don't have to figure it all out. The blueprint of your life isn't something you need to solve like a puzzle. It's something you live into, moment by moment, choice by choice. The more you trust, the more the path unfolds. It's like walking through a fog. You may not see the whole road, but with each step, the next part becomes clear. So, let me ask you again, are you willing to trust? Are you willing to believe that your life, with all its twists and turns, is unfolding exactly as it should? Because when you do, something incredible happens. You stop resisting, you stop doubting, and you start stepping into the truth of who you are: a chosen one, eternal, infinite, and endlessly powerful. Now that we've explored the sacred blueprint of your life, it's time to step into something even greater: your power. Because being a chosen one isn't just about understanding your eternal existence or recognizing the patterns in your life, it's about action. It's about embracing the truth of who you are and using that truth to fulfill the mission you came here for. And yes, you do have a mission. Whether or not you're fully conscious of it yet, there is something only you can offer to this world. But to fulfill it, You must awaken the eternal warrior within you. Let's start with the question, what does power mean to you? For many of us, the concept of power has been distorted. We're taught to associate it with control, dominance, or even fear. But true power, the kind of power that comes from your eternal self, is something entirely different. It's not about controlling others or forcing outcomes. It's about alignment. It's about being so deeply rooted in your truth, so connected to your purpose, that nothing and no one can shake you. True power is quiet, steady, and unshakable. It's the kind of power that allows you to walk through chaos with peace in your heart and to face challenges with the certainty that you were made for this. But here's the thing, stepping into this power isn't always easy. It requires you to confront your fears, your doubts, and the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. It requires you to let go of the stories you've been telling yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. Because here's another truth, the only thing standing between you and your power is you. The fear, the self-doubt, the hesitation, they're not real. They're illusions created by the mind to keep you safe. But safety isn't what you came here for, is it? You came here to grow, to expand, to awaken, and that means stepping into the unknown. Let me ask you something, what are you afraid of? Not the surface level fears, but the deep ones, the ones that keep you from fully showing up in the world. Are you afraid of failure? Of rejection? Of being too much or not enough? Whatever it is, I want you to look at it, really look at it. Because the moment you shine a light on your fear, it starts to lose its power. Fear thrives in darkness, in avoidance. But when you face it head-on, when you see it for what it is, a story, a thought, an illusion, it begins to dissolve. And here's the paradox, the very thing you're afraid of is often the key to your power. Think about it. If you're afraid of speaking your truth, it's because your voice has the power to change lives. If you're afraid of stepping into your purpose, it's because your purpose is so big, so transformative, that it scares you. But that fear, it's not a stop sign, it's a doorway. And the moment you walk through it, you'll realize that the power you've been searching for has been within you all along. But stepping into your power isn't just about overcoming fear, it's also about taking action. As a chosen one, you're here to do something. You're here to bring your unique gifts into the world, to create, to inspire, to heal. And those gifts don't have to be grand or dramatic. Sometimes your mission is as simple as being present, as loving deeply, as holding space for others to awaken. But whatever your mission is, it requires action. Because power without action is potential wasted. So how do you step into your power and fulfill your mission? It starts with listening. Listening to the whispers of your soul, to the nudges that guide you toward your purpose. You already know, deep down, what you're here to do. Maybe it's something you've been dreaming of for years, but fear has held you back. Maybe it's something you haven't fully realized yet, but it keeps calling to you in quiet, persistent ways. Whatever it is, trust it. Trust that the desires of your heart are there for a reason. Trust that the universe wouldn't give you a vision without also giving you the power to bring it to life. And as you take action, remember this, you don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to know every step of the journey. The eternal warrior doesn't wait for certainty. They move forward with faith, knowing that the path will reveal itself as they walk it. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a victory. Every time you choose courage over fear, you're stepping into your power. Every time you align with your truth, you're fulfilling your mission. But let me be clear, this path isn't about perfection. It's not about never feeling fear or doubt again. It's about showing up anyway. It's about choosing your mission, your purpose, your eternal truth over and over again, even when it's hard. Because that's what makes you a warrior. Not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move through it. Not the absence of challenges, but the strength to face them. Not the absence of doubt, but the faith to trust in something greater. So let me ask you one final question for this part. If you knew you couldn't fail, if you knew the universe was supporting you every step of the way, what would you do? Who would you become? Sit with that for a moment. Feel it. Because the truth is, you can't fail. Not in the grand scheme of things. Every step, every choice, every experience is leading you closer to your truth. You are the eternal warrior. You are chosen. And you are ready. And you are ready. As we arrive at the final layer of your eternal truth, let's strip away all remaining illusions. Let's go beyond the concepts of fear, purpose, or even individuality. Because here's the ultimate realization: you are not separate from the universe. You are the universe. Everything you see, touch, feel, and experience is not happening to you, it's happening through you as you. The boundaries you've been taught to believe in between you and others, between you and the world, between you and the divine, are nothing more than illusions. Take a moment to let that sink in. You are not just a person living in this vast, incomprehensible universe. You are the vast, incomprehensible universe condensed into a single point of awareness. The stars, the oceans, the mountains, the trees, all of it is you, expressing itself in infinite forms. And in this lifetime, you've chosen to experience yourself as you, a unique, singular expression of the infinite. Why? To grow, to expand, to experience love, struggle, joy, and awakening, not for some grand end goal, but simply because existence itself is the ultimate act of creation. But here's the paradox: while you are the universe, you're also profoundly individual. Your soul, your energy, your consciousness is one of a kind. Imagine a wave in the ocean. It's part of the ocean, inseparable from it, yet it has its own unique form, its own movement, its own expression. That's you. You're the wave and the ocean at the same time. You're infinite, yet finite, eternal, yet fleeting. And it's this beautiful paradox that makes life so sacred. So what does this truth mean for you? It means you are never alone. How could you be when everything is you? It means you are never powerless, because the same force that moves the stars and creates galaxies flows through your very being. It means there is no separation between you and love, you and peace, you and abundance. All of it is already within you, because it is you. And now, let me leave you with the deepest question of all. If you are the universe, if you are infinite, if you are eternal, what will you create with this fleeting, precious moment of life? The answer, my friend, has always been yours to discover. Now that you've embraced the infinite truth of your existence, that you are both the wave and the ocean, the finite and the eternal, what comes next? What does it mean to live with this awareness? This is where the real journey begins. Awakening isn't a destination, it's a way of being. It's not about transcending this life or escaping its challenges, but about fully embodying your truth within it. To live as the creator of your reality means taking radical responsibility for your experience, choosing, moment by moment, to align with the infinite power and wisdom you already hold. Let's start with a fundamental realization: your reality is not something happening to you, it is something being created by you. Every thought you think, every belief you hold, every action you take contributes to the reality you experience. This isn't just some abstract spiritual idea, it's a truth that science, psychology, and ancient wisdom have all pointed to. Your mind, your energy, your consciousness, they are like a projector, and the world you see is the screen. If you don't like the movie that's playing, you don't change the screen, you change the projector. But let's get practical. How do you actually step into this role as the conscious creator of your reality? It starts with awareness. Every morning, take a few moments to set your intention for the day. Ask yourself, what energy do I want to embody today? What kind of experiences do I want to create? And throughout the day, check in with yourself. Notice your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions. Are they aligned with the reality you want to create? Or are they reinforcing the very things you want to change? Next, practice the art of letting go. As the creator, you don't have to control everything. In fact, trying to control life is what creates resistance and suffering. Instead, trust the process. Trust that the universe is working with you, not against you. When things don't go as planned, don't see it as a failure, see it as redirection. Sometimes, the reality you're creating is bigger than what your mind can comprehend, and life has to rearrange itself to make room for it. And here's the most important practice of all: gratitude. Gratitude is the ultimate creative force. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you align yourself with abundance, with love, with joy. You stop resisting life and start flowing with it. And when you're in flow, you become a magnet for the reality you desire. Gratitude isn't just something you feel, it's something you embody. It's a way of seeing the world, of recognizing that even in the challenges, even in the pain, there is something to be thankful for. This is the eternal awakening. It's not about becoming something new, it's about remembering who you've always been. And as you step into this truth, as you live as the creator of your reality, you'll find that life isn't something you need to escape from or control. It's something you get to play with, to explore, to experience. You are the chosen one. You are eternal, and the world is waiting for you to create something extraordinary.